BB851, turn right, heading 180. Order 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the second daily recap to the 2019 Paris Airshow. I really appreciate the support you've shown on the first daily recap as that approaches now 100,000 views, and of course on all the other previous Paris Airshow videos which are on the channel if you would like to watch them. Please note once again that at the beginning of this video there will be previously uncovered Airshow news, while at the end you'll be able to find the videos uploaded today. Anyway, enjoy. Today was a busy one, and over these 2 days we've actually learned a lot more about Mitsubishi and their regional jets. Specifically though, just how the jets will be featured in the future. Mitsubishi projects a total of 5,137 space jets flying in the future. With a range of 2,000 nautical miles, they actually predict that it will feature heavily in North America. Funnily enough, this is also a market that Airbus is trying to dig into with their A220. Mitsubishi also expects that in the next 20 years, 14% of their 5,137 aircraft will be based in Europe, with 13% in the Asia Pacific region, and then finally 12% in Asia. However, with the infographic that is on your screen now, you should be able to see that the remaining percent is scattered around all other locations. These numbers though are pretty strong. On top of this, Mitsubishi see their space jet as one that's a lot more advanced than that of the E-jets and also the CRJ jets. They truly believe that with their advanced technology, they'll be ahead of everyone else in their sector. However, when Embraer and Boeing finally come together, the case for airlines ordering Boeing because it's Boeing could certainly see things drastically shift, and I'm very excited to see what will occur from that. Embraer were also shown some love today at the Airshow with some orders coming through during their press conference, which took place in the morning shortly after Cebu Pacific announced their order for the A320, A321XLR, and A330neo jets from Airbus. We saw Winter Carias, and hopefully I've pronounced that correctly, although I know with my Australian accent and pronunciation, I've probably got it completely wrong, so I apologise for that, place firm orders for the Embraer E195-2. Just before this order was announced, Fuji Dream also announced an order for 2 E175s, an overall great day for Embraer, following their major order with United that was announced on the first day of the Airshow, which was of course yesterday. Saudi Arabian Airlines has today also expanded its existing A320neo family order. They've expanded their existing order from 35 to as many as 100 aircraft, with 35 options sitting there as well. This new firm order though actually means that their family of aircraft is taken to 65. 15 of these are set to be the A321XLRs. The agreement was of course placed at the 2019 Paris Airshow and further indicates the demand in Saudi Arabia for aviation and travel in general. On top of this, Airbus and Saudi have partnered further to expand the development of technical training, maintenance, and of course other options. Further orders came for Boeing and once again for their 787, which has actually been a popular hit today with customers. This time the Air Lease Corporation added 5 787-9s, and this is on top of their previous order for 10, which we know will be heading to Korean Air in the future as part of their recent order for 30 of the type. The Air Lease Corporation said, demand for reliable, versatile and fuel-efficient airplanes is at an all-time high. These 5 Boeing 787-9 aircraft are required by our airline customers to satisfy strong ALC lease replacements of the 787. For this video, the focus is on an absolutely astounding, incredible, and also mind-blowing, I don't really know what else to say, upsizing of an order that's come from AirAsia. As I've said a few times in chats and also on Twitter, this carrier usually becomes quite the lunatic during air shows, and this is really further proof. AirAsia will be upsizing its future Airbus single-aisle fleet to the A321neo. However, it's not upsizing 20, not 50, not 100, not 200, but yes, 253 A320neos to the larger type, an amount that is just simply incredible and really difficult to believe, as it is simply a huge amount and also a huge win for Airbus. This move will not only benefit the A321neo program's operators, but will also enable AirAsia to actually offer a much higher capacity across its network, which in recent years, and since its orders, has most definitely increased and become more demanding for AirAsia. The group executive chairman said, We have spent a number of years reviewing what the future of our operations will look like, and today we're proud to become the world's largest customer for the A321neo. With its numerous efficiency benefits and the operational flexibility this aircraft brings, the A321neo will be the new backbone of our operations as we continue to expand to meet growing air travel demand across Asia. AirAsia has put the future of its group and airlines within it into the hands of Airbus, not only following this upsizing, but also past orders. AirAsia operate the A330-200s, and in the future, of course, they'll welcome on the A321neo. However, this will all be a part of their eye for expansion, something that's very critical not just in any market, but also the market that AirAsia fly in, especially with all the competition that constantly battle it out. It is worth mentioning that while AirAsia is upsizing to the A321neo, they actually have already expressed interest in the brand new A321XLR, which launched on day one of the 2019 Paris Airshow. While no order at this stage has been placed for the type, we'll have to wait and see what happens in the coming days or potentially coming months, as we might get some confirmation then. Today's order is not a surprise, and it's just another huge one for Airbus aircraft from none other than Cebu Pacific. However, rather than just having one type included in the order, or should I say MOU, Cebu Pacific has gone on a spending spree and opted for 3 different types, including the brand new A321XLR, which actually launched yesterday after a lot of rumours and all-round speculation. Cebu Pacific will be welcoming on 16 A330neos in the future, 10 A321XLRs, and finally 5 A320neos. However, while the order is fantastic for the pair, a lot of criticism has come over just how many people will be on the A330neo. Cebu Pacific has indeed opted to include 460 seats in a single-class configuration. Yes, you heard that correctly. 460 seats in economy on an A330neo. However, in saying that, the airline is certainly known for that, with Cebu Pacific already incorporating a whopping 436 seats on their A330-300s. Now, if you recall in yesterday's Aviation News Weekly, I did mention that the airline was eyeing either the Boeing 787 or the A330neo. Well, now we know they have indeed picked the A330neo, which does make sense considering they fly the A330ceos. Through the airline signing an MOU for the brand new A321XLR, they become among the few launch airlines for the type. Deliveries are expected, of course, for the A321XLR in the coming years, but first, the type actually needs to be built and heavily tested, as while the LR is flying with customers already, the XLR is yet to be. Airbus is projecting at this stage a 2023 release, just to refresh your memories. The benefit of purchasing the new A321XLR for Cebu Pacific is they'll be able to fly the aircraft directly from the Philippines to Australia, a destination that is now actually operated from airlines in the Philippines by the A330s. Cebu Pacific specifically went ahead and selected these aircraft types thanks to their efficiency, comfort, and also increased range. Being next-generation aircrafts, they'll allow Cebu Pacific to expand in the future, not just throughout Asia, but also in other regions as well. This can be noted through the A321XLR's range, which is actually certainly shaping up to be a huge hit with customers after only launching yesterday. The airshow, as you've probably noticed, has been very slow for Boeing so far. However, that has now changed, following Korean Air announcing their intent to welcome on a total of 30 additional Boeing 787 Dreamliners that'll see them actually quadruple their current Dreamliner tally. The airline has a commitment for 10 Boeing 787-10s and 10 Boeing 787-9s in place, and this deal is valued at $6.3 billion at list prices. Although we know that airlines often get discounts on this, but they're not publicly put in the release. So just assume that some money has been taken off that. In saying that, you're probably wondering where on earth the last 10 are coming from in this agreement for 30. Well, as part of this agreement, Korean Air will also welcome on 10 additional 787-10s from the Air Lease Corporation under a lease. The chairman of Korean Air said, "As we continue to innovate our product offering, the 787 Dreamliner family will become the backbone of our long-haul fleet for many years to come." Adding, in addition to 25% improved fuel efficiency, the stretched 787-10 offers around 15% more space for passengers and cargo than our 787-9s, which will be critical for our long-term business goals. Korean Air has made this decision in a bid to strengthen its long-haul fleet and also better compete with their new threats that are coming into the long-haul and more specifically Asian market. The president of the Air Lease Corporation said, ALC is delighted and honoured to bring the 787-10 to Korean Air's fleet in a joint effort with Boeing. The 787-10 provides significant revenue enhancement to complement Korean's 787-9 fleet, and the long-term lease of 10 787-10s from ALC will greatly expand the scope and reach of the 787-10 in Korean Air's global network. Meanwhile, the Boeing president and chief executive Kevin McAllister added, today's announcement demonstrates the strength of our enduring partnership with Korean Air. The airline has been a pioneer in Asia's commercial aviation industry over the past 5 decades, and Boeing is honoured to play an important role in their continued success. The Boeing 787s are definitely going to boost Korean Air greatly, as they already operate a total of 96 Boeing passenger aircraft, including the 737, 747, 777 and 787. This is a healthy fleet that they will take with them into the future nicely, and with these new Boeing 787s being added, they'll be perfectly placed to battle the competition that they said only a week ago they wanted to better compete with. I'll leave on the engine choice. Korean Air has opted for the GE9X engines to be fitted onto their Boeing 787s once delivered. Korean Air therefore operate an exclusive GEnx 787 fleet, with Rolls-Royce Trents not featuring on their Dreamliners at all. The International Airlines Group has today selected the Airbus A321XLR to expand its fleet with airlines. The 14 A321XLRs are set to be split up though with 2 airlines. The International Airlines Group said that 8 will be heading to Iberia and then 6 will be headed to Aer Lingus, an airline that is already expecting the A321LR to arrive in the coming months. The International Airlines Group over the years has become a huge customer for Airbus, with hundreds of aircraft ordered at countless air shows. Being associated with British Airways has also seen them order major wide bodies as well over the time, but this is a big step in the fleet renewal and also expansion plans for airlines like Iberia and Aer Lingus. It is said that the 6 A321XLRs heading to Aer Lingus will be specifically used to launch new routes beyond the US East Coast. Of course, with the added range that the XLR has, this is now indeed possible. Meanwhile, the 8 that are headed to Iberia will be used again for transatlantic destinations and to better increase frequencies in key markets. Moving inside the cabin though, it is also expected that these aircraft will feature gate-to-gate in-flight entertainment, internet connectivity, and ambient lighting, like most long-haul aircraft nowadays. These main things have really become staple in a long-haul aircraft to ensure that the passengers are as comfortable as possible. I'll add that in regards to routes, as well as moving past the US East Coast, Aer Lingus is also eyeing Canada as a market that they'd like to dip into with this new A321 XLR. Of course, we'll find out the exact destinations as the time comes. Willie Walsh, who is the chief executive of IAG, commented on the orders saying, the A321 XLR has the same unit cost as a wide-body long-haul aircraft, which will enable profitable network expansion. Adding, this will strengthen both Dublin and Madrid hubs, providing new transatlantic routes and additional flexibility for connecting passengers. These aircraft will also bring further cost efficiencies and environmental benefits. This has been an absolutely huge day for Airbus and also Boeing. One of the busiest days in channel history continues, and I'm trying my absolute best as a one-man show to ensure you continue to get all the updates across all my social media coming from the 2019 Paris Airshow. Today we have some major news. I'd be willing to bet this is even more major than the launch of the A321 XLR. Just months after ET302 occurred, Boeing has received the first order, or should I say letter of intent, for their Boeing 737 MAX from the International Airlines Group, and this is their second order for the day for a whopping 200 737 MAX airplanes. This is not something I expected in the slightest. IAG is the parent company for the likes of Aer Lingus, British Airways and Iberia, and fly over 100 million passengers a year combined. The deal is valued at US $24 billion at list prices and is absolutely huge, and I cannot express that enough. Not only for Boeing, but also for the 737 MAX program, and really airlines putting faith in that program. The IAG chief executive Willie Walsh said, "We're very pleased to sign this letter of intent with Boeing and are certain that these aircraft will be a great addition to IAG's short-haul fleet. adding, "We have every confidence in Boeing and expect that the aircraft will make a successful return to service in the coming months, having received approval from the regulators." It's also been revealed that the aircraft will be heading back to the likes of Vueling, Level and British Airways in London. IAG has also selected the 737 MAX 8 and the larger 737 MAX 10, which can accommodate a total of 230 passengers. But it's very much worth mentioning that we do not know the exact split between the models in that order or letter of intent for 200 Maxes. Meanwhile, Kevin McAllister said, "We are truly honoured and humbled by the leadership at International Airlines Group for placing their trust and confidence in the 737 MAX, and ultimately in the people of Boeing and our deep commitments to quality and safety above all else." Adding, "We are delighted that the IAG team recognised the superior qualities of the 737 MAX and has indicated an intention to return to the Boeing 737 family. We look forward to building on our long-standing partnership with IAG for many years to come." The move from IAG is a major and also unexpected one. I don't believe many, including myself, really thought that the 737 MAX would be receiving orders, especially considering what has been occurring in the past few months with MCAS and more. I'll dive into my own opinion here, but I believed if a group or an airline was to order the 737 MAX, they would get a lot of backlash, and it would not be a good look on their business, considering the 737 MAX has been front and centre of media attention since as long as I can remember.